Hello and welcome to a brief overview video of how to use the Audient mixing console in Studio A. So the mixing consoles look big and scary because there's so many knobs and buttons and faders, but in reality they're actually quite simple. Basically what a mixing desk is like a junction for audio and sound. It allows you to take audio in from multiple different sources. It allows you to combine them, add effects, do some tweaks, and send them out again to various different sources. So obviously in our studio, the two main places that we're going to be sending our audio to is going to be to the speakers so that we can hear sound in the studio, and also to Logic, which is our digital audio workstation, so that we can record our audio. The third aspect that we'll be covering in a different video is sending audio back out to headphones so that our players in the control room can hear themselves whilst they're performing. So for this demonstration, we're going to be recording our technician, Kieran Hazlett, playing acoustic guitar. We're going to be using this SE Electronics T2 condenser microphone. And if we follow the cable over to here, we can see that it's being plugged into channel 1 on our wall box, which will correspond to channel 1 on the Audient mixing desk in the studio. Alright, so we have Kieran in next door playing away at the guitar there. We have our microphone set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down to channel strip 1 on the desk. Okay, we're going to go to our preamp section. Because we're using a condenser mic, the first thing we're going to want to do is turn on phantom power to enable that microphone to work. It's very, very important that you turn on phantom power before you adjust the gain, otherwise you're going to get a very loud, very audible pop in your speakers, which obviously is something we don't want. So once we've done that, then we can adjust our gain, and we're going to be doing that in the mic line section because we're using a microphone, and we're going to be turning that up. And basically what we're doing is see this level meter here. We want to see it peaking in and around this 0 VU line there. So we're going to keep turning up our gain until we get to there. Alright, that should be pretty healthy. Now in our Logic session, we've set the input for the channel we want to record onto to be input 1. So we want to go ahead and press our corresponding bus, which is number 1, which means that whatever's coming through this channel will go out bus 1 and into input 1 in Logic. Now we're going to come down to our input fader, short black input fader, and we're going to turn this up. So this is how much of this signal that's in this channel we want going to Logic. We usually will always want to set this at 0 dB, and we have a little bit of wiggle room up and down if we decide that we need it later on. If we come down to our converters, you'll now see on channel 1 here, it's coming through the converters, so everything's working as we want it to so far. So now we're just going to go over to Logic, go to our channel, we're going to select I to get Logic to listen to that channel, and there we can see we have it coming into the channel. So press R to start recording, and I'll start recording the channel. And there we have Kieran's guitar. Okay, so now that we have our guitar recorded, we want to be able to listen to it back. Now ordinarily, you'd have done all this already in your sound check, so you would be able to hear your guitar while you're recording it. But just for the purposes of this demonstration, it's probably easier to break it up into individual parts, so you can go back and listen to and watch again if you missed anything. So I've got my guitar that I've just recorded looping here. Just take I and R off so it plays back. So that's playing back. If I go to my mix window, I can see that it's coming out stereo out, which means channel 1 and 2. Channel 1 and 2 means channels 1 and 2 here on the mixing desk. Okay, so a couple of things we want to do here. We want to pan channel 1 all the way to the left, channel 2 all the way to the right, so that we actually get our playback to be in stereo. We want to press these two mix buttons so that they're pressed in, because that will send the audio from these channels to our master fader. And then we want to turn up channels 1 and 2 all the way up to 0. Okay, now if we sort of sneak a little look here underneath the monitor, you should see on those meters that it's being sent to our master fader, which means we're doing well so far. So what we need to do now is two things. We need to go to our master fader, turn this all the way up to 0. So this is the desk outputting, and then I'm going to turn this up, which is the volume of the speakers themselves. And then you should now be able to hear Kieran's guitar. So that's all the settings for one channel strip, and that's how to record one audio source through one channel strip into Logic. For most of the sessions you'll probably be recording in here. You're likely to be using more than one microphone, and it's just the same process repeated for as many channels as you're using for your session.